Speed hack? Probably. There's a lot.
It got so bad, people came to me asking whether they were going crazy when asking whether someone was cheating or not. Look at this.
Tío, qué mal juegan, ¿no?
Right here. It could be sprimpers too. Did you check to see if they have sprimpers? You're chasing her since the first second of the game? And probably.
Watching this back, it actually seems like his game was stuttering, and Rebecca's movement was a byproduct of his computer being fried.
Thing is, it's like, even though you got the clip of the person hacking, I don't think that behavior will do anything about it.
Thankfully. But after all the gaslighting...
How'd you get head on that fast?
I wasn't hacking, not on my fucking screen.
To later be vindicated by their confession...
I'll have a new account in 3 minutes. Then I'll stream snipe your Asian ass like before.
I had enough. I wanted revenge.
Oh, there's a hacker. Oh. Hello. You think it's a Nancy?
Blatant Cheaters didn't care about hiding anything. No hiding, no role-playing, no begging.
You know reporting does nothing but waste your time.
Just holding the game hostage. Which gave me an idea. If I didn't disconnect, this cheater was stuck with me. If I could maximize the amount of time it took them to reach their next match, I could hold them hostage instead.
So during these special moments, we whip out Dead by Roblox. A very enjoyable experience for the whole family. This is the better game anyway, alright? This is the better one.
Most cheaters tried playing it cool, hiding their hacks in conjunction with specific perks to make it seem like, maybe this was just resilience. They're just running hope, essentially causing cheater paranoia. This especially didn't help when behavior practically made every cheating mechanic into a usable perk. He's not removing his aura, he's just using distortion. He's not removing his scratch marks, he's using Lucky Break. He's not speed hacking, he's just using Made for This or Boon Dark Theory. I have zero clue why behavior did this. These series of changes made it so much harder to catch players who subtly hide their cheats. And with their game developers praising the ideas of their own perk designers.
I think this is a really good compliment to our perks design team. They've been doing a great job. They have good perk ideas, ones that are interesting, ones that are fairly well balanced.
I have to hope that by making subtle cheaters harder to track, they have a greater deal of confidence in their anti-cheat to compensate for that, right? To say the least, behavior has done something right in recent years by practically making it impossible to hold games hostage for 2 hours by tying the endgame timer to the actual end of the match. Let alone 2 hours, they've also lowered the match limit to 1 hour. Even though we all know a different hostage problem has cropped up, that's a completely different topic for another video. The thing that scares me most from these engagements are not even the cheats themselves, but the people who use these cheats. Because yes, like you and me, these are also people in the Dead by Daylight community. It's not really the people who cheat because the game is too hard or something. It's the people who hide their cheats and then try to gaslight others into thinking they're crazy. It's the people who hold the game hostage for 2 hours just because they want to waste someone else's time, all in an attempt to destroy someone else's sanity. I know Dead by Daylight is a killing game about killing survivors, but this takes it a couple steps too far, as games are usually used as an escape from reality, a coping mechanism from anxiety, a coping mechanism from chaos. Do people really derive joy from kicking people while they are down? By taking someone else's suffering and making it worse? Whatever happened to playing games just for fun? I often think about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre developers' criticism of Dead by Daylight.
And what we don't lean into is the competitive side of it, because it starts to breed a different type of player. It skews off of friendship sometimes. We don't make games to say, I'm better than you. If that sounds like something that you're like, no, I would rather play a game that's more competitive. There's probably a game on the market you can do that.
Whether rank, symbolically meaningless of skill, gives players a sense of accomplishment. when paired with other max ranked players, even if they weren't good at the game. It didn't matter because the ceiling for what was considered the best was a bar that was set so low that people were satisfied even just pretending that they were.
Another thing that was really that we got a lot of feedback from was every time we released a new version, our players would complain about things that we didn't even change. So like one of the big things that they would complain about was, this new version is more like, it has more lag than the last version. What did you guys do? And we'd be like, we didn't touch anything. What the heck are you talking about? Because like we no matter how much we explained to them, they would always complain. Every version, this is worse than the last version. Change it back, please. And then we were like, you know, one time I just got so fed up that the next version we released, I would just artificially subtract people's pings like by -50. So yeah. So if like their actual ping was 100, I just say, okay, 50. Just say it's 50. And then a lot of the players are like, oh my God, what did you do? This is incredible. And like
These measurements of skill were rendered pointless, not only explicitly, but also implicitly as well. But the implementation of Behavior's skill-based matchmaking system, where cheaters could no longer hold games hostage and people equal in skill or matched against each other. Players actually had to learn to get better, optimize, and find the best strategies. All sounded good on paper.
SBMM, I've said this before and I'll say it again, man. SBMM is I dare say, killing video games as a whole.
Until non-cheating players learned to hold the game hostage for an hour until all the survivors died. That sadistic sense of superiority players craved had cropped up once again.
People do it, they do it almost always. Some people just do it to annoy people, obviously. But the majority of people do it for their own enjoyment.
Yesterday, the developers of DBD held a Q&A session at Reddit where they answer questions from the community.
Okay.
I followed it really closely, and I was very disappointed. In one word, it's just ambition. There's just no ambition where whatever gameplay is concerned.
Why do people in the community feel that the developers lack ambition? I've been wondering this because people have been feeling that matches felt the same over and over again. Optimization, same killer, holding survivors hostage, and Behavior's solution to this problem is to try to prevent killers from actually holding the game hostage. But I ask, what then? If killers feel the need to play the same killer just to stand a chance against difficult survivors, wouldn't they just gravitate towards a stronger playstyle? What about tunneling over and over again until every single survivor is dead? Behavior may say the problem is now tunneling. Well, what happens when you get rid of all viable playstyles until there's nothing left? They mentioned they want to gravitate the game towards a chase-oriented meta, which seems to be Behavior's final endgame. But eventually, if every single match is just chase, wouldn't every match start to feel the same again? Or would killer abilities give enough variety that would keep the game feeling fresh enough? Well, maybe it's the updates. This sense of boredom and lack of ambition can be fixed with updates, right? Well, it feels like Behavior has been trying that ever since the biggest update ever. A killer with AI bots, Nicolas Cage with goofy plot twist-like perks, Alien, Chucky, and soon to come new game modes. It almost feels like an uphill battle of trying to do more and more by constantly trying to beat their previous updates little by little. And even with all this, players seem to just be waiting around wondering, when is the next killer coming out? When is the next major update? What if demand becomes too much? Why do the most recent updates feel uninspired? This is the Alt-Starva video part. Is this uphill battle of never satisfying their community completely sucking the life out of this development team? Well, possibly.
We also see things that actually require skill slowly being removed, like burning the nurse with a flashlight or the wraith. These are things that require skill. We've seen that flashlights got made a lot easier to be used as well, so it seems that, again, they truly don't know if this is a casual or competitive game.
I'll put this bluntly. I believe Behavior is ignoring the main problem because they have too much pride in a feature they've spent years perfecting. And after refusing to suck up their pride and just doing what the community has been telling them for months, they refuse to do it because of the sunken cost fallacy.
I think fundamentally the devs don't want to be like we're going to make this big change, and that was the worst mistake of our entire career.
We put so much time into this, and it would be a waste if we didn't use this feature, even if a lot of people hate it. Even after all this is said and done, Behavior is planning on creating new game modes, but I wonder if this new feature will be enough. What if it isn't? Will their original game mode feel uninspired, unambitious, and repetitive? Will this create more problems than we already have?
But we're also at the same time investigating the impact of splitting the queue between our main mode and some other hypothetical mode.
So many questions, but so little answers. I wonder if we passed a point of no return somewhere. And it's a little worrying. With all that is said and done, it does seem like Behavior cares. We've gotten killers and updates that players have been asking for years up to this point. So that's why I have to pose the question of, why does it feel like it's never enough? I have no idea. But I wanted to share these thoughts with you guys because this topic has been worrying me for quite some time. And I hope you guys enjoyed my little Dead by Daylight monologue.